can recognize our perception, which are already printed in our mind, because sometimes we don't know, we are not aware what are the things that we perceive in a child. So can you please elaborate a little bit about that and how we can come out and reprogram our mind, those perceptions? So it's a really very interesting, it's a very vast subject, because
Yes.
it's really purely new for me, especially. I think for
Right.
everybody too. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So one of the important things is the compassionate curiosity. One is attitude of compassionate curiosity. Oh, why am I doing that? So most people, we are questioning other people's perception. Why does this person think that? Why does she believe that? And we keep trying to look for people who think like us, right? Normally, what happens is we feel, oh, people who think like me, yes, this is right, the others are wrong, right? But when we want to say, oh, yeah, I'm perceiving it in this way, start questioning, why do I think like that? Where is this coming from? Or why did I start believing that this is how it has to work this way? When we start questioning that, becoming curious, questioning not in a wrong way, but questioning very like curiosity, that where did this start? Where did this start happening? Now, when we do that, we will be taken back. And then also respecting other people's perception, really being open to wanting to hear other people. So we basically are ready to leave this and be open to that, open to other ways. Secondly, when something keeps happening with you again and again, for example, if I was betrayed by this person, and then somewhere else there was betrayal, and then somewhere else there is betrayal. Now it is not about those people. Now it is about me. There's this pattern. I'm attracting this, right? Why did I attract this? That will tell you a lot about what has happened. Another thing, that life is always trying to show us something, teach us something. So paying attention to the important situations that happen to you in your life. When something is not working, what is this trying to teach me? When we start trying to look deeper into that, we will start understanding that. And that is how we can start changing the perception.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, paying attention to how did your mother, father, for example, when I say I believe this, okay, pay attention to what did my father believe? What did my mother believe? If you just pay attention, as kids, when you saw them, how was your father? And you'll realize, oh, my father used to do this. Oh, I'm also doing exactly that. Now you have taken down everything from them, their way of being, their way of thinking, feeling, right? Now, a lot of it may not be working now. So, just when we pay attention to that, you will start realizing that a lot of their beliefs automatically you've downloaded. We actually download our parents' programs. We need to examine then what from them I'm taking, which I want to now continue taking with awareness. Yes, I would like to keep this. But with awareness, what is it that I'm taking? I just behave like exactly like my mother. Oh my God, this is not working. It's going to now spoil my relationships, or something that I'm doing exactly like my father. Now, this is going to spoil my relationships. This is not working for me. I have to, that doesn't mean that we don't love them. We respect them, we love them just as they are. But I say, I am now dropping this, right? I want to change this. So when we start paying attention to them, 95% you will see what you're carrying is really coming from there, and really examining that.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
This is Geeta. So, like, we already aware of our patterns and we're consciously working on them, and to like not to repeat the same mistakes. But still, like, and yeah, in 80%, and here are there like maybe 5 or 6. old pattern, observe if the other persons are observe the old pattern and concentrating only on the only 4 or 5 things, and like humiliating or like, how can we avoid this situation, how can we overcome, or like, and how to handle this situation.
Wonderful. So, Geeta madam, till if the pattern has not changed, right,
Mhm.
we have to see what is happening. Why is it that the pattern is not changed? Most of the times, we have not got to the root of it.
Mm.
We've identified we don't like something in the fruit, but it will not change till the time we actually work at the root cause of it. The work needs to be done at the root. So
Okay.
something in our life is not working, but where is it coming from? For example, our partner, if something is not working there, right?
Mhm.
Now, 90% of the times, the work needs to be done at our inner child level. And most of the relationships are karmic relationships, meaning in a past life, we have something that we're carrying from a past life. Two people don't just get married, just by chance. It kind of, they come together for a reason. So nothing that's happening is by chance. Now, when we start paying attention and we start working at the root, that is when you will start finding the answers. Many times, automatically, the shift in you will start causing the shift. Like you have shifted, your partner will start shifting, or your boss will start shifting. Okay, something will shift on the outside when that shift happens. So just let yourself take the help, because many times, I mean, all of us have our own blind spots.
Mm. Yes. Yeah.
So, of course, consciously, we are doing our very best. But
Mm.
there will be something each of us have that we can't see. So there is always, we'll have somebody we can trust. Then we trust that person to show us that, where that's when a guru, a therapist, if you trust somebody, a good friend, right, where you know that they understand this and they are able to help you. That is when we need to take help with that.
Ah, thank you, madam. So, if we observe the old pattern and here are there like 1 or 2 situations, that means like we still needs to like fix the thing in the root level. Okay. So it is not completely changed.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, madam. Yeah, it was a wonderful wisdom and wonderful session. Yeah, thank you.
You.
Ma'am, I have one question. Someone's like somebody has lots of failure in life, though doing good things, but even though the pattern of failure is always there, is that the carry on from the past life or how? What is that, ma'am?
It could be either from childhood or from past life or transgenerational patterns. Many times when there is failure, so for example, sometimes the child is actually unconsciously failing themselves. So when I say childhood, so either it could be that we don't feel worthy of that, there is unworthiness feeling, and hence we kind of attract that. Or sometimes when children subconsciously carry anger towards parents, either for example, they had to just be the good child, or if they feel like if it's a rebellion, they have a lot of anger. Now they unconsciously fail themselves, because failing themselves means the parent is failing also. Or there are very subconscious sabotage patterns, because if supposing the ancestors were failing, then how can I be successful? Unconsciously, we feel like I have to belong by, being that way. Or like I said, it could be coming from past life. So once if you're having that, if you take help with that, where is it that the cause of it is? Where is the root? So a trained therapist, if you kind of sit with them, they'll be able to help you identify and then work on that.
So if it is from the past life, then how we can rectify, how we can
Yes.
remove
So if
or
there is
improve
past
it?
life, right? For example, if there is guilt from a past life, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take an example that there's somebody who was carrying. So there is this person who felt that I'm unloved. And she kept craving for her child's and husband's love, but she wouldn't get them. And she said that even I never felt love from my mother, my father. They always wanted my brothers. The girl child was not wanted.
Mhm.
Now, when she saw in her past life, she was a man and her family died when she was away.
Uh-huh.
And there was a fire and the family, they got burnt. Now, in
Mhm.
that life, she felt so much guilty. And she said that anybody who loves me, okay,
Mhm.
will die. So I don't deserve love. This is a belief that was formed. Now, whenever there is trauma, okay, the
Uh-huh.
belief that is formed, there is so much emotional charge at that point in time that that charge remains in us. Now, even though consciously in this life she wants love, she's actually craving for it. But because her belief in that life is, I don't deserve love. If somebody will love me, they will die.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, she had to change this belief. So, in past life regression, the work that we do, basically, when you work with a therapist, you will go to that life, whatever the charge will be released. So, in her case, for example, she relived that trauma, she released it. After she did that, I made her to look, okay, this is what you believed. Is it true? And she said, oh no, of course, it's not like they died because they loved me. That logic at that point in time, she thought that. But now when she re-looks at it, this is how perceptions change. Now she
Mhm.
says, of course not. It's not really to do with that. Right? So now her perception changed. Now she believes, oh yeah, I deserve love. Right? So now things
Mhm.
are changing. So, this is how, in the past life, whatever the root cause would be, sometimes there's a belief that needs to be changed. Sometimes they just need to forgive themselves. For example, somebody actually killed somebody or betrayed somebody. But now, what will happen is they realize now that, oh, maybe for the next 10 lives, I have continued living that same kind of thing. And now, do I need to continue that? Have I not learned the lesson? Because supposing we do something wrong, also, right? Supposing in this life you do a murder, now maybe you're in the jail for 14 years. But how much time, as a soul, how much more time, how many more lives are you going to act out of that guilt? So the most important thing is for a soul to forgive oneself. So many times souls actually don't forgive our own selves. We say, oh no, I did that bad, I have to continue that. Then
Mhm.
actually seeing that, have you not learned the lesson? We show them, oh, look at what you were and now look at how you've become. Have you learned?
Mhm.
Have you grown as a soul, as a human being? And when you appreciate that, then you see that, oh, what I did, even if I did something bad, right? I have learned. If I had not made that mistake, we all make mistakes, right? But if I had not made that mistakes, I would not have been able to learn all of this that I've learned. So then these are the ways that actually the transformation happens.
And then and so there was a question. I think Sunita madam, you already asked a question. So you wanted to go first, and then Rajni madam will come to you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. Actually, I joined 15, 20 minutes late, but I understand the topic. See, one thing, like, whoever the meditator, I noticed that initially all the physical elements are getting healed, but the emotional blockage is like carrying, um, like, for example, in my case, I know what are the blockage from the childhood trauma that I am carrying. I'm seeing those in my, day to day when I'm aware with my day to day activities and meditation. But I'm having a really tough, challenging to remove those blockages. I know, as you said, that we need to reach out the therapy or like, uh, but how can we do? It is like really overwhelming when you get to know that you have these blockages and you are carrying from past 29 years or 30 years, and which is impacting that many years. So
Thank you.
um
Very beautiful question. And actually, that's what happens because now the emotional blockages also create the illnesses. And many times, because in meditation, we start receiving so much energy, we obviously, a lot of those physical issues kind of start getting better. right? But now you will start seeing what was causing it. So the emotional blockages. Now, when we are in the emotion, when we are operating, it's like I'm constantly operating out of that. Obviously, sometimes it becomes difficult to come out of that because I'm living already in it. It's like I'm drowned in that pool of emotion. I'm not able to see. So, when we say taking help, it's basically somebody who's able to kind of also understand the way that you are seeing, is able to parallelly see how you are seeing, and is also able to be out of it, so that they can actually, in a step by step way, they can actually take you from this state to a state out of that. Okay, so if you are suffering, if you're not able to do it by yourself, it's important to take help, right? It doesn't have to be a very prolonged thing, but sometimes, from if you're saying something from 33 years, I would say 5 sessions over a period of 5-6 months, if you kind of really do that, right? So the way that I would work is, for example, every session there is a deep change that's happening. I would give a little homework. So with every session there's some change happening, but it's like the perception changes little by little, right? Some beliefs will change, some issues, some maybe you work on a past life. So if you're not able to do it by yourself, Sunita ma'am, it'll be good to take help.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sunita ji. Yes, Rajni ji.
One sec. Yeah. Good morning, ma'am. This is Ashwa, and I'm interested in the past life, and I've heard quite a lot of stories, Buddhas, Bodhisattva. You know what I'm talking about, and I'm more into science-based facts, and I'm finding it difficult to understand because I haven't read enough of the past life is the real stories rather than listening to Bodhisattva. But in spite of that, I have a feeling in my mind the life goes from past, current into the future. I have a feeling, but I'm a bit lost. Yes, I have a feeling, but I don't get any technical scientific evidences to prove or disprove that. How do we come out of that? Or how can I acquire more knowledge to accept or reject the feeling I have, the past, present, and the future?
There's a whole lot of books there, Rajni ji. You can actually find some of that research work. With children, there is so many documented cases that, where they remember their past lives. Dr. Brian Weiss's book, he coming not from a Hindu background, but from a Catholic background, proper psychologist, or sorry, psychiatrist, and suddenly his client just goes into a past life. And for the very first time after that, things start to change. So, he's been one of the biggest persons who's actually made past life famous in this century. So there's a whole lot of books. So if you want to kind of understand and kind of make yourself ready for that, I would say go and read books, find books. And like today, when I was speaking about this, right, I was neuroscience also, you kind of see, and how you understand also past life. Let yourself study. That's how you'll understand. And of course, if we beyond a time, I mean, of course, science is always catching up. Spirituality, I mean, the truth is there. Science is much behind, is trying to prove what is already there. So at one time, I mean, get yourself enough proof, but at one time, if you really want to go into it, you'll have to just take the jump to say, okay, yeah, got it, it's there, and now let me take the jump. So choose to do that also whenever that you feel, yes, I'm now ready.
Yeah, that's fine. But the question is if it is really, really that relevant, we have so many billions of people, we'll be seeing at least half of them telling us, yes, I was so and so past life, I'm going to be like this. And we would have got a lot more evidences. I know there are some anecdotal tell the examples, and the Buddhist monks, they say that this is how they're going to be born, and that's how they were in the past life. But practically, we don't see many cases compared
fact
to so many people we have on this planet.
Yeah. If you see this first slide that I said, unaware, that we are unaware, when we say so many people, not many people are firstly interested in this. Not many people are already in that state that they tap into past lives. And a lot of the people who are already tapping into it. So, for example, Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi first, Dr. Newton, when past life started opening for him, during his student days, his interest was to actually, to find out if it actually happens, to find out if there is science. I mean, am I imagining? Am I actually seeing something? So for some time, he did it out of pure research purpose. That let me find out. But beyond a point, he was so convinced that now the interest shifted to helping people. So even for me, for example, now I have so many case studies, and I have had people where they said something, there's a person sitting in front of me and he's saying Native American, and this person is called Nanath. And I type on Google, and by chance I found that person. And then when I showed her, she said, oh, exactly, this person looked exactly like that. Now there's a photo that they've put of that tribe leader who was just like that, right? So, as therapists, we've all had some cases where people have found validations, but our interest has been to help people more than trying to prove it to anybody. So, like I said, there is enough proof. You can go and look at that proof. But beyond a point, all of us, we are more in the space of helping everybody rather than proving it to somebody who doesn't right now believe it. So because this work is such that it actually is there to help people so that you can leave the past. So now the story is not important what we were. So let yourself find. There is a lot of proof, Rajniji. Sorry, I forgot your name.
Ashwa.
Yeah, so you will find enough proof. Just go and find those books that are there. But don't try to then say that numbers are not so many, because this is now just um, uh, nobody is trying to find the statistics as much. Finally, everybody who's into this field wants to help. So I think that may be the reason why that's happening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right? Yes.
And just to add, I think Dr. Joe Dispenza is the one who is now connecting the science with spirituality. So, to my knowledge, or in my opinion, he's so far so advanced in connecting the science to spirituality, basically. Yeah. Yeah, you can look into his. There are so many YouTube videos for it, and then there are sessions as well. If you really
No, but
want it,
he's for past life and all that. See,
yeah,
he's
he
doing for
doesn't.
meditation. Yes, it's
Yeah.
for all meditation, and he's doing a lot of work. Science is now basically, of course, doing all of that.
Mm.
But when he spoke about past life, of
Past
course.
life, yeah, sure. And then meditation is like a multidimensional. The spirituality itself is multidimensional, and coming to the science, we are stopped at three-dimensional. So even though we wanted to prove certain things, science is not yet there to prove certain things. They're beyond science as well, in especially right going away and then go. So many things. So that's where I think we are lacking in the proofs of certain things, which because the science is just three-dimensional for now, and this is multi-dimensional. So that's where I think, yeah. Hope this
Wonderful.
helps.
Sorry, what is that book, Dr. Brian? What
Brian
is
Weiss.
his last name? What is that?
Weiss, Dr. Brian Weiss.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Doctor. Mhm.